Commitment. Commitment in their profession. Females are treated as subordinates in Pakistani society. Since they are treated as subordinates, they have a will to prove themselves. And for that matter, teaching profession is a profession which is highly recommended by families, even in the rural or urban areas of Pakistan. So that is an opportunity for these females who are subordinates to be proving themselves as some people who are independent and can work and show their identity as good workers. So they enter the teaching profession with a stronger commitment than men. So that means that they have a stronger commitment than men. Men probably go to the profession, some percentage is interested in that profession, and some percentage is not getting the job anywhere else, and therefore they become teachers. So the commitment level is less. Also, men strive to change their profession even if they start with teaching profession, and later if they get more money and more salary and more benefits in other organizations, they may shift. Even they may shift in the schools and they change their institutions just to get more salary, or they can choose some other profession if they are given a chance. So there is some percentage in the men who are also committed to teaching, but that percentage is very low. Whereas in the case of the women, since they want to get out of their subordination and they want to be independent people to be working, and the only profession which is welcomed and encouraged by their families is teaching. So when they join as a teacher, they have a strong commitment that they will fulfill all the requirements that are needed to become a good teacher. However, they seem to be less familiar than men with those responsibilities. It is very unfortunate to see that teachers, as women and as females, they want to join this profession. They are also committed and they make a strong commitment to join this profession, yet it has been analyzed that they are less familiar with those responsibilities which are required to be a teacher. The studies have shown that the evidence, even with the same training, when the female teachers they go through the same training as the male teachers, there is an evidence of the study that the female teachers they less frequently use effective practices in the classroom. Although the training was same, because in the international organizations, usually when they run some type of a project and training, it is the same for the female teachers and the male teachers. And the studies have proved that although these teachers they have got the same training as men and they are in the same training sessions as men, yet number one, they become less familiar with these teaching practices. Probably they do not have the understanding of these teaching practices to be very important in the classroom. Maybe they are more towards their own teaching practices and they think they are more effective, whereas the men teachers have been seen to be learning those practices and implementing those teaching practices in the classroom. So this study has shown that the evidence is that even with the same training, female teachers less frequently use those teaching practices which are effective in the classroom. So there can be many reasons of it. Maybe the female teachers did not get the opportunity to practice them in the classrooms. Maybe there is more pressure of the syllabus completion on the female teachers and they feel more responsible towards that instead of trying those effective practices in the class. In my own experience, teachers normally avoid using the practices that they are given and told as important to be used in the classrooms when they get training. The best follow up is when the trainer trains them and then the trainer makes them follow those practices in the classroom, and with the help of the observers or the heads, it is seen that whether these teachers are implementing and applying those practices in the classroom. Once they do it, then they get used to those practices, and then they only find out that there is some benefit of using these practices in the classroom. So in that case, it can be said, in order to make these practices happen in the classroom, it is effective that there is a follow-up, that the teachers are using these practices in the classroom.